Yes guys, and welcome back to another episode of Chopping It Up with Charms. I'm on the step today, but I can't lie, I got work, I'm a real whole human, but I can't let you not hear what I have to say about this situation. Chelsea just got our first win in what feels like forever. It's probably been 3 weeks or something of that sort, but yeah man, back into winning ways against Southampton, 4-0. Not really a Premier League side, really. I was expecting this to be the case the whole time. We don't really have an excuse to make it competitive with a side like Southampton, and we didn't. You know, I think that we took the opportunities that were given to us. Bar a couple, we could have still done more, I reckon. But I said what we needed to do was go out there and win by more than 2. We need to win 3-0, we need to win 4-0, we need to put on a show, and that's what we've done. Cole Palmer looked a little bit stretched, looked a little bit leggy. He looks a little tired, to be totally honest, which is not a good look. But he's still Cole Palmer. He's still got all the technical ability. He's still got everything there. But it was Pedro Neto that really surprised me. That was a player that Dan said needed to have a good game, and he went and did just that. I thought that he looked dynamic. He looked sharp. He looked ready. You know, he looked like he was ready to prove there is a layer between where we are and where Southampton are at the minute. And he's done exactly that. You know, he's shown that he's a great player in these moments. He's very dynamic. He's quick. He's got a great shot. But what he doesn't show is he can shoot from everywhere. He can use both his feet. I feel like he looked a little bit plateaued, but today he's back on track. Yeah, man. Awesome stuff from Pedro Neto. Now for the league going forward. A lot of people crying about it, to be totally honest. They think we could be in a lot better position than we are. I disagree. You know, I think that the process at Bovril Gate are an absolute piss take. I don't think there's any need for them, to be totally honest. I think that if you were to tell any Chelsea fan a year ago that this right now would be sitting in between 4th and 6th, you know, 4th, 5th, 6th, depending on the game week, and we'd be, you know, all still in a European tournament, going great, looking still the favourites to win the whole tournament, I wouldn't have any complaints. You know, problems for me would be if we did crash out of Europe. Problem for me would be if we were sat 11th, or we're sat where Spurs are, or United are, but we're not, you know. And there are a bunch of teams this season having a great year, like Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth, and we're still in the mix with teams who are outperforming their usual selves. You know, and Arsenal dropping points isn't amazing, but we're catching up with them on the sly. And Liverpool, although they're the best team in England, they're the best team in Europe, so we've got to make an exception for them. You know, the way that they've been kicking ball recently has just been out of this world, and to say that we're in and around the conversation of finishing in Europe with teams like this, I'm not mad at it. I don't understand what people are complaining about, these protests. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me, to be totally honest, because a year ago, if we were in this position, with Poch, I would have taken it, and we're arguably in a better position now with Enzo Maresca than we are with Pochettino. You heard? I think we're in arguably a better position now than we were then. And that's the important part, you heard? And people want to complain, man. And not only do they want to complain, they want to protest. They want to rampantly complain. I don't understand it, man. I do not understand it. And please, Chelsea fans, if you've been to these protests, I want to hear what it was like. Because it couldn't have been that fucking loud, could it? There's nothing to talk about, blood. You got 1 point. So yeah, you might act like you've been wronged. Todd Bowley's spent billions on your club, and he's doing his best, man. We could have the Glazers, like we could have these terrible football owners, but instead we got an owner like, to some degree, cares about success. You know, maybe cares a little bit too much about money, but he cares about the success nonetheless, and that's what's important to me, man. I just want to see my club win a fucking trophy, bro. Is it that hard? I mean, it kind of seems like it is. Because Arsenal can't do it, Spurs can't do it. But we can, you know. I was having a conversation with my mate who's an Arsenal fan, and he was talking, yeah, but what you need to understand is, even though you may have won trophies, you have to look at the progression of since then. And where are you now? And where are we, you know? Like, we come second every year, we're bound to win it. And I'm like, yeah, this is your problem. You're celebrating coming second every year, and I'm pissed off because we ain't won something in 5 years. There's levels to this shit, man. Like, if you were to ask me who's closer to winning something this season, Arsenal. If you ask me who's closer to winning something in the next 5-10 years, my boss has aired me off, blood. Oh well, we got time. Yeah, man. I just think that if you were to ask me who's more likely to win something this season, it would be Arsenal. But if you ask me in the next 5-10 years who it's going to be, it's got to be Chelsea. It's got to be. I mean, they've shown it historically that they can win. We stay in tournaments. We're going to win the Conference League, whatever the fuck it is. We're going to probably win the Europa League next season, which means in 2 years we're guaranteed beating the Champions League. If we don't finish top 4 this year, that's progression. That's guaranteed trajectory. That's finding a rhythm, finding a mojo. Where I feel like Arsenal struggle to do that. I feel like with Arsenal, it's weird because I don't want to be that guy that says they just need a striker and they'll be there, but I think they just need a striker and then they'll be in the mix. But it's like with Chelsea, man, what do we need to be in the mix? Because if you think about striker, we've got Jackson. Think about Tim, got Palmer. You think wide, maybe that's where we can get a bit of enhancement. I mean, I don't mind the idea of Jackson moving wide and committing to a 9. He's got a bag. But then again, I think Sancho's great. I think even rotationally, Madueke can be a great player. I think Pedro Neto's fantastic. There's definitely 1 or 2 more that can come in to fill in those positions, especially after we most likely lose Mykhailo Mudryk in the summer, most likely lose probably Madueke in the summer. Probably a couple of these kids. Maybe it's time for Tyreek George to step up and have his Bukayo Saka season. I don't see why not. I mean, I love Tyreek George. I don't see how he doesn't break into it in the next year or so. I mean, you look how he played against Southampton. I mean, I know it's only Southampton, but the way he impacted the game as soon as he came on, I mean, the pinning and the passing, and I think it's a great player. I mean, all in all, I think everyone's just got to calm the fuck down. I don't think Chelsea are in that bad of a place. I think comparatively we're not that bad in a place, and I think historically, for where Chelsea seem to end up, we're not in a bad place. So just a quick short one this week. Just running through everything. Obviously, I'm on my way to work, teas. But yeah, man, God bless. This is just another quick episode in the bank. I think overall the theme is sort of, I don't understand why we're bugging out and protesting and so worried about where we are as a club, like we're 15th and arguing relegation, like Man United. It's not like our ownership is cutting staff meals, and they can't feed Susan her cheesy chips and a bit of beans on toast because they want to save a couple of $100,000. I don't understand why. I haven't seen Stamford Bridge getting rats running all over and leaks through the roof, and I don't really see us getting renovated either. I just think that the club is actually cared for, and I think that the ground is cared for, and I think that we need to be we need to be more in touch with our blessings as Chelsea fans, and we need to understand that what we have not many clubs do. My mate's a Portsmouth fan. He goes down to Fratton Park every other week, and it's a tough watch. Luckily, his stadium's a bit of a fortress at the minute. But if he goes to the Premier League, it's a long day, and we've established ourselves in the Premier League. We've been in the Premier League. We are the Premier League. We are a top 4 side in the Premier League. And we're not going to go anywhere anytime soon. We're not going to ever have a threat of relegation like Manchester United or Tottenham. These teams, we're never going to be in that position. Even when we are, we're going to find our way to dig ourselves out comfortably as well. I mean, the lowest I've seen us drop is what, 11th, or finish like 11th, or like 13th, maybe once, 14th, sorry. Which is deep, yeah, but don't we win trophies in the same season? So who's complaining? Yeah, man. That's all this video is just a thought piece of why are we complaining. I mean, if I was to try really hard and understand their point, I could say, listen, with the money we've spent, we shouldn't be in a position now where we're still essentially in a trial and error period. We should be comfortably back on our feet, and we should have found our mojo by now. But this is football, mate. You can't predict those things. Like, I don't see a world where the money just justifies, oh, we have to have been successful. Look at Man City. Look at the money that they've spent. Yeah, and look at the money that they've spent. Look at the way that they slowly upgraded their squad. They started with Robinho out wide. And look at where they are now. Even back then, Robinho wouldn't have been able to fit in their squad. I mean, I remember when they had that slaphead in the middle. then Shay Given in goal. And it's just like, well, what are we doing? That's why Shay Given, come on now. So I thought it was Shane for a minute. But nah, man, like, I remember when they had these guard players and they slowly replaced them, you know, and then it became Joe Hart, and then it became Edison. You know what I'm saying? That's how they've done it. The players have slowly whittled closer. They haven't just bought all of the best. And we're doing the same thing. I just think everyone needs to calm down, take a deep breath and smell the flowers. Realise you're a fan of one of the best clubs in world football. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. And don't forget that I will do everything I can in the world to provide you with top quality content, regardless of whether I'm at yard, whether I'm fucking there, left, right. Look, you know what? I missed my bus for you, man. There's 2 more at the wrong bus stop because I got this one just so I can film this video. Love you all. Don't forget to like and subscribe. God bless. Take care of yourself. Charms, I am outie.